No matter how lonely or desperate things get for you out there, you always have 6 friends that you can always rely on. And they are the strings E, A, D, G, B, and E. So today we're going to learn how to incorporate some of these open strings to help you play chords. This would be a really good lesson for you if maybe you're having trouble with bar chords, but you still want to start playing through the neck. And basically, the theory behind it comes down to just the actual notes of the strings E, A, D, G, B, and E. So there are a couple keys where all of these notes exist together. And the first one we're going to talk about is the key of G. So the G major scale, the key of G, the notes would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Okay, so we have 7 different notes. So if you notice, the open strings are in there. So G, there's the G string. G, A, there's the A string. B, C, D, there's the D string. And E, right? So E, A, D, G, B, E. All those open strings exist in the key of G. So what that means is we can play all the chords of the key of G and then kind of really lean heavily on these open strings to kind of make a cool open sound. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all those notes that we just played, but instead of playing them in a hand position, we're going to play them with one finger throughout the neck. Okay, so we have a G, the 1 chord, A, the 2, 3, B, 4, C, 5, D, 6, E, 7, F sharp, and E again. Now what we can do, there's another video I have called How to Harmonize the Major Scale, where all of these become chords. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of that, but we're going to make it easier. So instead of playing like a G bar chord, which can be kind of tough for some people, and also too, that's just a triad, sounds great, but it doesn't have a lot of character to it other than that it's just major. What we can do is we can actually take let's take the root note, and then let's take where my middle finger is, right there, and then add the open string. So I'm only holding down 2 notes, the G and then this B. So I have a G and it's major 3rd, and I'm kind of adding the open strings for color, and you get like a cool open sound. Now all of these chords are going to have names, but we're not going to worry so much about the names. We're just kind of playing around in the key of G and adding the open strings. So when we get to A, now this would be an A minor, let's take the A here, and then this note right here, the C, it's minor 3rd. And do the exact same thing, just open up the whole thing. So now we have the G to an A. And it sounds a lot different than playing just like G major to A minor. Has a really cool open vibe to it because the open strings are doing really the heavy lifting of these chords. We can keep going further. We could take the B, do the same thing with a B. So remember, if you remember the 1, 4, and 5 chords are major and the 2, 3, and 6 chords are minor, you know that B minor would be the chord that goes here. So you can do the same thing with the A, but do it on the B. It's the 7th fret. So we've got G, A, B. Now the next chord would be the 4. We could do it either here or here. We're doing a couple different ways. I'm just kind of walking up. So I've got a G, A, B, C, D, E, like this. And then we're going to kind of add the A string in a second too. So G major. We can just think of this as like our major chord shape for the 1, 4, and 5 chord. There's the minor chord shape. B minor, C major, D major, E minor. So just by walking up through the root notes of the low E string, we're kind of getting like a cool open sound. And then you can kind of combine them. Just really be creative and just kind of mix and match those however you want. You can do the same thing if you're rooted on the A string. So like we said, here's the G. The A would be open. Let's actually keep the A here, and let's go to the B. Right, so here's a B minor bar chord, would look like this. Now maybe let's just take kind of the same idea, and let's take the open A string, and then kind of get the D right here on the B string, 3rd fret, and leave everything else open. It's really the same shape as the major chord on the low E string, but now we're moving it to the A string. And then we can go to the C, which would be major. I'm thinking of the C bar chord right here, and then just opening up the middle of it by grabbing the E, so I've got a C and an E, a C in its major third. So because I'm grabbing the third is what gives a chord its class, either major or minor. So that kind of roots both these two notes, even though it's not a full major chord. I'm kind of giving it a C major feel, and then bringing everything else in. Again, I'm getting a G in here, so it is really truly like I'm getting what's required of a triad, and then just kind of adding a D. Don't even worry about that. We're just kind of making sounds from open chord voicings. The same thing with the D chord to an E. There's like that E minor shape, B to E. And I'm just tracking the root notes and then kind of putting a shape on it. And again, letting those open strings, our 6 best friends, do all the work for us. So after that, we can go to an F sharp, which would be like a minor 7, flat 5. Now I can take any of these intervals that I want here. Maybe I'll just take this, keep that kind of minor thing going. So for the purpose of this, we can almost think of the 7 chord as a minor chord. And then all our minor chords would be like A, B, E, F sharp. Because this voicing doesn't have the 5th in it, where normally it would be a flat 5. Again, whatever. The theory isn't so much important here, it's just kind of working open strings into it. And then ending on a G. So, just a couple of ideas to think about, and really just kind of start working open strings into it. It sounds really good on acoustic guitar. Another thing it really sounds good with is if you're finger picking, like maybe I'll take this. Or even on the A string. Because I'm always kind of hitting that open G string and the D string. And a little bit more into it, since these chords are in the key of G, again, there are other keys that you can do this with. You know, you can try the key of C, you can try the key of D. Those will sound really good too. Even F, even though F doesn't have a B, it has a B flat. A lot of these still will sound really good. But in the key of G, a lot of what I've been showing you has an open G and an open D string. And the most important note in the key of G is G. It's the root note. And arguably the second most important note is its 5, which is D. So we have a G and a D that are always going to be in these chord voicings if we're playing them like this. So that kind of just adds like a glue, and it kind of puts everything together in a way that it's a very key of G-ish thing, vibe, but you're moving through the scale and harmonizing in different ways. So it's a cool way to kind of like experiment, maybe get different chord voicings that you've never used before to kind of incorporate into the rest of your playing. And also too, if you like a different key, this is like a really great opportunity to maybe like tune down or up some of the strings to kind of fit the open strings into the key you're using. So it's just a good thing to maybe even like an intro into different tunings and stuff like that. Just experiment, have fun, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know on Instagram, Twitter, the comment section of the website, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.